Greetings everyone, this is Fleet Admiral Alt Lexington from the Meraki Command Fleet. It's Thursday, the 24th of March 2016, just before maintenance, about quarter to midday. As some of you know, I've gotten a new computer recently, and this video is just a test to see if I can record in a better quality. Today I'm going to be doing just a quick run through of Infected Space Advanced, ISA. For those of you who watched my last video, you will know that I'm using a Folian Tarantula Dreadnought, I've got Advanced Fleet Anti-Proton Beams, I've got the full adapted Mako set, a Plasma Integrated Warp Core. The only reason I chose this is because it's plus 100% increase to base power regeneration, an omnidirectional anti-proton beam, the ancient omnidirectional anti-proton beam, and the kinetic cutting beam, which is part of the Omega set, and it goes with the Universal Assimilated Console. It is actually a 3-piece set, but I'm not using the third piece, which is a plasma torpedo, because I don't use torpedoes on this particular ship, even though I have torpedoes spread on my toolbar. This bioneural infusion circuit comes from the Lobby store. This 0-point energy conduit comes from the Romulan Reputation. Conductive RCS accelerator, I crafted this, but I wasn't lucky enough to get the one everybody wants with the mod that says EPS. This one just says flow. But it does what I need it to do. Gives me better turn rate. Plasmonic leech. Everybody knows that one. Another Lobby store console, tachyokinetic converter. And the console that came with the ship, it allows a cannon to fire a Folian web. Although using beam overload on this ship also sometimes creates a mini version of that web. It doesn't work with fire at will, only with beam overload or cannon rapid fire, and I've got beam, so I use beam overload. And Spire consoles, vulnerability locators for anti-proton, and Spire leak obelisk swarmers. You can't upgrade these, that's why it's purple. It's ultra rare. Let's just check my loadouts are loaded. That's good, so we can look at my stats because I'm in Earth orbit, the Sol system. Power transfer rate is okay. That increases when I hit this button, EPS power transfer rate. It will increase massively. Let's have a look. Works wonders, that does. You can see my hull is pretty good, not perfect. My shields aren't that great. Neither are my resists, but hitting this increases them. We just wait for those to cool down a moment before going on to the next items. Accuracy is pretty good, bit too good. Critical chance, I could do with having that a bit better. I'd much rather have those two numbers switched around, but I'm still experimenting. Critical severity is okay. I could have got the critical severity higher, but I sacrificed some for critical chance. It was up to 127 before I sacrificed some for four more critical chance. Tactical, not the best. Science skills, shield drain is okay. And engineering. And my turn rate is pretty good for this ship, for a big ship like this. Let's just have a quick look at my traits. If you're interested in any of this, you can just pause the video to see which ones I have. So those were my personal space traits, starship traits, space reputation, and active reputation. Since we're only going into a space battle, we don't need to look at the ground stuff. And there's my ship, all decorated. The USS Tox Utat, and I'm a human engineer, the Federation faction. Another change I made was in my roster, active space, this guy. I swapped a gravity well engineer for this energy weapons officer because with beam overload he has a chance to gain 35% shield penetration, and it does work. It helps my ship out quite a bit. When he procs, I might put another one of him on just to increase the chance. And another change I made was I created a tool tray number 10 here down the side. Instead of having it here on my normal tool tray, I created another tool tray with tray 10, and I bound this entire tray to the spacebar, so I don't have to worry about clicking individual icons for these items. I can just spam the spacebar. I'm also going to try and use the combat log to pass this ISA run. So before I bore all of you even more to death, let's go and queue for ISA. There it is, infected space, infected the conduit advanced. Excuse me. Now we just have to wait for the queue to start. It shouldn't take too long. This queue is usually a pretty fast one. It's also the queue that most people use to pass their DPS to find out how much damage they're doing. It's a good baseline for that sort of thing. This mission is a good baseline for passing and finding out your DPS. Often when you type into chat, you can ask somebody to paste it and they will. To paste what the DPS is and they will. But I can do it myself now, so we'll see how it goes. You've probably seen me die a few times in this because that's what happens in ISA. Well, while we're waiting, you might as well just have a quick look at my fleet. Meriki Command, level 15, not very far along. All our members. Some of these are doubles, though, people with 2 characters or 3 characters. I know I've got several characters in this fleet. And our holdings, our research lab only needs fleet marks to finish its tier 1 upgrade. Anyway, engage. Let's try this ISA. Get ready to start the combat log. I'll probably have to browse for the log after this to refresh the combat reader. Anyway, here we are in ISA. Start log. Get rid of that. Target the cube. Go to full impulse. Weapons reduced. And spam the spacebar. And there we go. Somebody's blew up the cube already. This is the first step, destroying these guardians of the transwarp gateway. And then we go on to destroy the cube that protects the transformer. And then the nanite generators. And then the nanite transformer. We must destroy this transformer before the nanite spheres that have come out the gateway try to heal it. If you're in a big ship like mine, you've got to be careful not to crash into it and get stuck in it. And there it goes. Now let's mop up the spheres. See if I can get a good web on them. There, we've webbed some of them. And we've mopped up the stairs, so onto the other side to do the same again. Destroy the cube, then the 4 nanite generators, then the transformer before the spheres heal it. Target jumped. There it goes. Now mop up the remaining stairs because a technical cube reinforcement just came through the gate before we destroyed the transformer. Gravity welcome. Now on to destroying the gate. There you go, beam overload, works a treat. Destroy the transport gateway. It's going down fast. Somebody in this team has big DPS and it's not me. And now onto the cube. Let's see if I can get a web on it before we do anything. There we go. Now follow it up with gravity well. And this cube should go down pretty fast now. Keep up with attack pattern beta. Make sure my shields are orientated correctly. Call in my delta reinforcements. It's turned out to be a good run. And there we go. Get away quick before its warp core breach kills me. My daily bonus of marks. And that's where we end the combat log. We can look at that later when we're in Earth's orbit again. But before we do that, I've got to go and pick up some loot. That turned out to be a pretty good run. Got all the optionals. As the Borg fades away into a memory. Any more loot? I don't see any, although I did miss quite a bit. I wasn't interested in loot. Not so much. So there you have it, ISA. Infected Space Advanced. So let's go back to Earth orbit, the Sol system, where we can check the combat log. I may have to load it up again because this is my first match of the day. So there's the combat log reader. Let's browse for the actual log for today. There it is. It didn't load, so let's browse analyze log. Give it a moment. Seems to be taking its time. Let's browse for it again. That looks like today's. Ah, there we go. That's it. Wow. There's the time, so you can see that it was the one I just recorded, and the date. And look at that, wow, 25k. I've never done that before. Not in this ship. I usually around 20k, most of the time below 20k, sometimes a little bit above, but never 25k. That's a record for me. Just let's look at the DPS chart. I'm the purple one. I spiked high at the beginning, like everyone does, but then my power levels stayed pretty much the same all the way through. Damage chart. The purple one is me. Now what we do is hit copy results, go back into the game, and if you ever want to paste it into chat, I'll go to my fleet channel because I don't want anyone to see it, and there's nobody off my fleet online at the moment, but if you want to paste it into chat, you just click the chat button and use Control V and then hit enter. dog comes into chat. Old Lexington, 25k. I've never done that before. This was a damn good run for me. In fact, it's about... I had a freak run of 28k when I was first building this ship, but I think I may have read that wrong. Either that or it was a very freak run. The rest of the time I was getting around 20k DPS. Usually below, a little bit below, sometimes a little bit above 20k. But 25k seems like an improvement for me in this ship. So, that was a Folian Tarantula taking on ISA. So this is Fleet Admiral Old Lexington from the Meriki Command Fleet, saying thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope my video quality has gotten better. Enjoy your gaming, and bye.